Hello everyone, Weather Jamaica here. Welcome to this updated video on the weather across Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean. It is Tuesday evening, April 9, 2024. Now before we jump into it, please ensure that you guys like the video, share it, subscribe and tap notification bell so that you'll be notified every time I post a brand new video. Feel free to leave a comment down in the comment section letting me know what the weather has been like in your area recently. Also, feel free to ask any weather related question that you might have about the future of the weather in your specific area. Alright, so let us take a look at the surface map of the Atlantic for this evening. We can see that ridge of high pressure dominating the entire Atlantic basin is right there to the east of Florida, and it's responsible for continuously sending those easterly trade winds from the main development region into the Caribbean. And we can also see that cold front that has now squashed down to the south, bringing more rain and cloud cover than anything else, especially across the northeastern Caribbean. All the cooler than average temperatures associated with that cold front are to the north of the northeastern Caribbean. If we take a look at the visible satellite images of the Atlantic before the sun went down, we can see the clouds associated with that cold front stretching all the way from northern section of North Atlantic, all the way down into portions of the northeastern Caribbean to section of the Leeward Islands, Puerto Rico, the US and British Virgin Islands, Hispaniola, the southern Bahamas, Turks and Caicos. Definitely gotten on some of the action. Even parts of Jamaica gotten on some of the action as well. And if we take a look at the prediction that was made in yesterday's video about the weather across Jamaica for today, Tuesday, April 9, it was stated that we would have received some morning rainfall across sections of some northern and eastern parishes in Jamaica, and then across sections of some central and western parishes during the afternoon. And just for reference to northern parishes, we're talking about Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, St. Anne, St. Mary, Portland. Eastern parishes, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Surrey. So Portland, St. Thomas, Kingston, St. Andrew. Central parishes, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Middlesex. So St. Anne, St. Mary, St. Catherine, Clarendon, Manchester. While western parishes, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Cornwall. So St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Hanover, St. James, and Trelawney. And what ended up happening? As early as 9:36 a.m., we saw that the visible satellite images were posted, and they highlighted the whites that represent some amount of cloud cover across section of some northeastern parishes in Jamaica. So we definitely got that more cloud cover than anything else though. And keep in mind that this post was made on our Twitter page at Weather Jamaica, and we also make similar posts on our Instagram at weather.jamaica, on our TikTok page at Weather Jamaica, and on our Facebook page at Weather Jamaica 876. So if you have one of those social media platforms, please ensure that you follow us there, as there are obviously some other posts there that are not made here on our YouTube page. If we take a look at the post that was made during the afternoon, it showed the visible satellite image that was posted, and it started to show some buildup of clouds across sections of some central and western parishes in Jamaica. So definitely inland areas of Clarendon, far inland areas of St. Anne, same Trelawney, Northern Manchester, Northern St. Elizabeth, sections of Hanover, sections of St. James, sections of Westmoreland. And during the late afternoon to early evening, we still saw those clouds building, especially across western Jamaica than anything else. So definitely sections of Clarendon, section of St. Elizabeth, St. James, section of Hanover, and Westmoreland definitely got on some of the action. And we even have some of our followers on our Facebook page confirming the rainfall in their area. Audrey Jackson, light drizzle in some areas in the hills of St. James, not widespread though. Donna McFadden stating, light drizzle in Negril, it feels so damn good. If we take a look at the visible satellite images of Jamaica before the sun went down, this indeed confirms what the followers are saying. All of those clouds definitely across the northeast, then spilling into sections of some central and more so western parishes in Jamaica. And even up to recording hour, we still have that cloud cover across western Jamaica, even although we lost the sunlight on the visible satellite images. We can see those milky white colors still showing some amount of maybe overcast skies, if not some isolated showers, to sections of some western parishes in Jamaica. And the Cube and Doppler radar images confirm this. We can actually see the greens and the yellows within them that represent some amount of light to moderate rainfall right there off the coast of Negril, another patch right there off the coast of St. James earlier. And if we take a look at the Caribbean Institute for Meteorology and Hydrology's accumulated precipitation for the past 24 hours, although we did see on the Euro and the GFS forecast that it would have rained in section of Kingston. More of that rainfall was across section of northern St. Andrew, northern St. Catherine, northern Clarendon, northern St. Elizabeth, sections of St. James as we just saw, Hanover and Westmoreland. But as usual, the morning rainfall definitely across sections of some northeastern parishes, so St. Anne, St. Mary, and Portland. If we take a look at the temperatures right now, we can tell we have 26 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 26 degrees Celsius in Kingston, and by about 3 a.m. on Wednesday, temperatures should dip down to about 25 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 22 degrees Celsius in Kingston. As relates to the temperature forecast for tomorrow, this map from the GFS is showing 18 on Wednesday, which is actually 1 p.m. on Wednesday, and we see Jamaica embedded in some yellows and some slight orange colors that are representative of 1 to even 2 degrees Celsius above normal temperatures. I know the normal temperatures for the month of April across Jamaica are about the same as 88 degrees Fahrenheit. And we know 88 degrees Fahrenheit is the equivalent of 30 degrees Celsius, so we should be receiving anywhere from 30 to 32 degrees Celsius at most for Jamaica's temperature on Wednesday. As relates to the dry air map, we can see the dry air is represented by the yellows, oranges, and red by what we see on the key on the bottom. And dry air is still plaguing Jamaica, as we can see by those yellows and oranges right there. As relates to the Saharan dust forecast for 2 p.m. on Wednesday, we do see that majority of the Caribbean should be in the clear, as all the browns that represent the Saharan dust should be across portions of the main development region. And Africa right there, we see those darker shades of browns that represent that vigorous plume. Jamaica should be in the clear for 2 p.m. on Wednesday. As relates to the wave forecast for tomorrow, we do see that we're gonna be having a mixture of those darker shades of browns, not to mention some purples, darker shades of blues, sorry, not browns, not to mention some purples that represent anywhere from 1 to 1.5 meter wave heights, even getting close to 2 meter wave heights. And that's because the winds are gonna be strong. It's already been strong this week in some areas, and it's gonna be even stronger tomorrow. Especially where we see those yellows. We know the yellows represent anywhere from 25 to close to 30 knot wind, some very strong winds. So it could be quite busy for the fishers out at sea. You know, the greens represent anywhere from 10 to 15 or even up to 20 knot winds. And we can see that for the most part, the wind should be coming in from the east. And it looks to be that it's going to be piling up across sections of some inland areas of especially some northern parishes in Jamaica. So we can rule out an afternoon isolated shower or two across especially some northern and western parishes like what the GFS is showing here. However, with the winds coming in from the east, whatever comes off of the sea from the east is going to be affecting sections of some eastern parishes, not to mention maybe some northern parishes as well. As you can see here, the rainfall forecasts from the Euro and the GFS are showing some blues that represent some isolated shower activity across sections of some northern parishes in Jamaica. So definitely a section of St. Anne, St. Mary, Portland getting in on the action right there. And if we take a look at the afternoon now, we start to see those blues that represent rainfall across sections of some central and western parishes in Jamaica. GFS more so across northern Jamaica. We'll see exactly what unfolds. More so, I'm inclined to believe what the GFS is showing. Definitely some central and western parishes. You know what? I'm more to believe what the Euro is showing. So central and western parishes rather than just northern parishes. Although the GFS is showing the blues across northern Jamaica, the Euro showing some blues across southern Jamaica as well. So I'll go with central and western parishes in Jamaica during the afternoon hours. And we can see that both the accumulated precipitation forecast maps from the Euro and the GFS are showing some amount of rainfall affecting sections of the island tomorrow. Not all areas are going to be receiving the rainfall. The areas that need it the most usually are missing out. Some people are luckier than others. A lot of hit or miss showers taking place. But don't worry, as soon as the rain actually gets going, some persons are going to pray for it to stop. Either way, the accumulated precipitation from the Euro is showing less rainfall than the GFS. Euro showing up to 0.17 of an inch of rainfall. GFS showing up to 0.45 of an inch of rainfall, especially across northwestern parishes. And we're indeed grateful. We're in the month of April. We start to see an increase in the amount of rainfall that we usually get per year during this month. Up to 140 millimeters of rainfall is usually expected during the month. That's almost 5 inches of rainfall. So we'll take all the rainfall that we can get to put some kind of a dent in the drought that we're experiencing. Alright, so that's it for the forecast across Jamaica. Let us focus our attention on the rest of the Caribbean. So as stated, we have those clouds associated with the cold front bringing some amount of overcast skies, if not rainfall, to sections of the Leeward Islands, sections of Puerto Rico definitely gotten on the action today. Puerto section of Hispaniola, not to mention section of Costa Rica, Panama as usual getting in on those usual thunderstorm activity associated with the intertropical convergence zone. You can also see section of Suriname and French Guiana getting in on the mix as well. And if we take a look at the Doppler radar images from today across the northeastern Caribbean, this does indeed confirm the areas that got rainfall. So definitely a section of central and southwestern Puerto Rico, sections of St. Kitts and Nevis, St. John's Antigua, sections of Montserrat getting in on some amount of isolated shore activity. And if we take a look at the Barbados radar, we don't see much taking place right now. We do see some isolated pockets of rainfall right there up to the east northeast and to the southwest of the islands, heading into sections of the Grenadine Islands, maybe even spilling into sections of Grenada tonight. And if we take a look at the weather view of Doppler radar images, we don't see much taking place at all. Only that rainfall that we just mentioned on the satellite images across sections of Suriname and French Guiana. As related to the temperature forecast for tomorrow, we see the above normal temperatures represented by the yellows and the oranges, not to mention the reds, affecting sections of the central and eastern United States, the Gulf of Mexico, Central America, Northern South America, and the Caribbean, while below normal temperatures, as represented by those blues and greens, should be plaguing sections of the Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, sections of even northern Hispaniola. If we take a look at the Saharan dust forecast for 2 p.m. on Wednesday, we do see that majority of the Caribbean should be in the clear, as all the browns that represent the Saharan dust should be across the waters of the main development region, not to mention sections of northern South America. As relates to the wave forecast for tomorrow, we do see a mixture of those blues and purples that represent anywhere from 1 to 1.5 meter wave height up to 2 meter wave height. And that's because the winds are definitely going to be strong. The greens, as usual, represent anywhere from 10 to 20 knots, and the yellows represent anywhere from 25 to 30 knots. And we do see those 25 to 30 knot winds that should be plaguing the waters to the south of Jamaica and Hispaniola, to the north of Colombia, not to mention the Gulf of Mexico. But as we can see that for the Caribbean, wind should be coming in from the east for the most part. As relates to the rainfall forecast now, we start to see a shift with where the rainfall is located. So most of that rainfall that was supposed to plague sections of Hispaniola and Puerto Rico today is starting to shift southward to affect more so the Leeward Islands, some more rainfall, St. Kitts and Nevis, Antigua and Barbuda, Montserrat, maybe even spilling into sections of Guadeloupe, the waters to the south of Puerto Rico and Hispaniola. We can rule out an isolated shower or two activity across sections of Hispaniola, however, even sections of Jamaica, as we just mentioned. Not to mention that rainfall that we just saw coming into sections of northeastern South America. So Suriname, French Guiana definitely going to be getting in on the action. Not to mention sections of Colombia, Panama, Costa Rica as usual, southeastern Nicaragua, as well as sections of Guatemala and Mexico. I know that when both maps from the Euro and the GFS are in consensus like this, the chances of such shit happening are much higher. Alright, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching.